the placement. I just care about it being on the list. Yes or no if I agree. But yeah, this list is already off to a terrible start, bro. This was legitimately like, there are a lot of great levels in Astrobot with a bunch of different creative ideas going on. This wasn't one of them. This is legitimately the worst game, the worst underwater level in this game. The only reason I could understand this person liking this level is maybe because in the game there's no, like, you know, like in a lot of games when you go underwater they have a mechanic where it's like, oh, you can only stay underwater for 20 seconds or else you'll start to drown. Like, I hate that mechanic in games, and because this level doesn't have that, that's the only reason why I could reasonably see them putting it on here. But let's see their reason. Generally speaking, when it comes to video games, we gamers have very little time for underwater levels. There are some exceptions to the rule in bubbling. Exactly as I figured. Don't even need to read more. Slow-mo casino. Ooh, this was also one of the levels I didn't like too much. Like, aesthetically, the level was cool, and mechanically, like, they introduced some interesting things. So understand when I say this level was cool, this level to me isn't top 10. It's just like, out of my preference, I don't think by my standard it's one of the top 10 levels in the game. I think it's up there in like the top 20, top 50. But like, if I was to make a list of top levels in gaming all time, and I like had a gun in my head and legally had to require, and it would legally require me, and it legally required me to add an Astrobot stage, this shit would be nowhere in the running. So I don't know. Okay, yeah, I do agree. Y'all could go back and watch when I played this level. This level was one of the hardest levels in the entire game. And not hard in terms of difficulty. I mean hard in terms of, like, it was fun to play mechanically. Even though I kind of was just guy with guns shooting all over the place in the level, it felt fun to play a game where you didn't really have to worry about ammo and all that crazy stuff too much. You just get to shoot, and have fun. This was just an all-around mechanically fun level. I fuck with it. I like this level too, Trunk of Funk. Originally, when I first got into Trunk of Funk, I was confused and I didn't like the layout. But once I actually understood it and once I actually went through it more, I was like, hey, this level's kind of cool. This level's kind of cool. Let's see what they said about it though. There are some power-ups in Astrobot that I feel really don't have enough screen time. Please don't say that damn penguin shit didn't get enough screen time. But that is something that I also said when I was playing the game. I was like, hey, I like the idea that we get all these cool power-ups, but I don't like the idea that they reuse a couple of them. And there's a few that just, unless you do all the extra stuff and basically 100% the game, or try and get like every robot and stuff like that, unless you go that far with the game, it's kind of like certain power-ups you use once and basically never again. Especially if you're not going into galaxy warps, there's going to be a lot of mechanics you miss out on. Well, especially like the second chances to use them. The ability to create your own platforms is a fun mechanic that allows for spacious and open platforming sections, and this all culminates in a fun, if a little easy, boss battle at the end of the level. You didn't even have to use those for real. I mean, you kind of did because you need the extra jump, but yeah, that boss battle was easy. But to me, that was one of the most fun boss battles because, like, once you figured out what you had to do, it was kind of cool to sit back and just look at the game and like, bro, like, a team of people this creative working on a game is rare. It's rare to see a game that is just designed for you to have fun. Not a bunch of microtransactions all over the place. Not a bunch of people being sweaty and I gotta sit here and watch 100 YouTube tutorials and be the best that there ever was and dominate over everybody. Like, even me as a competitive, I like fighting games. Sometimes I want to sit back and play a Subspace Emissary. Even like with fighting games, I love me some fighting games, but sometimes I don't want to play a fighting game. Sometimes I don't want to compete. Sometimes I just want to chill and have fun. Sometimes I just want to jump around, bop shit in the head and have a quick power fantasy, or get taken to a fantasy land by a fantasy story like Telltale's The Walking Dead or the Batman version, for example, which one day I'm gonna eventually play on stream. But you know, Sometimes I don't want to play a game and be super serious and be super sweaty and have to be super technical and have to input 300 things a minute. Like, sometimes I just want to play a dumb fun game, and that's what I think this game is. However, some may argue that the best parts of this level happen right at the beginning in a mini. I don't agree. I think some of the best parts of this level happen like as you start to travel up the tree, because that shit has some cool parts in it, but it's not the best. Where you get to play a spot of golf. That is true, you do get to do that. Meeting one of the cutest cows in gaming history, and you'll get to meet Papa Tree. Yeah, I got an achievement for squirting in Papa's mouth. Luna Solar, yes. This, like I said, I'm assuming this list is unranked, but for my rankings, this is probably the best level in the game, because the ways that they get creative in this game, even y'all could see as I was playing. What the fuck is this? This shit out of here. 1 second, y'all. The fuck is this? No. I don't listen to that bullshit. Alright, but like I was saying, to me, this level was one of the best levels in the game, because I was sitting there looking at this level like, yo, this is genuinely one of the most creative levels I've ever played in gaming, and the levels of creativity they have in that level are just made me say it. You could even hear me saying it in a video. I was like, wow, like, how do you think of this? Like, there's no way that they sat there and they was like, yo, we need a new level, we need another level for our game Astrobot before release. Anybody got any ideas? And just on the spot they thought of it. It's like, no, this is one of those levels that are so creative. This had to come to you in a dream. This level of creativity can only be just God said your purpose on earth is to create this level in this game. Like, you have no other life skills. Your purpose on earth is just to make this level in this game. Like, that's how creative we don't even need to read the explanation. Y'all can go watch me play it. This level, I wasn't a fan of it too much, and I wasn't a fan of them trying to make me a snitch, but I don't think mechanically that this level is the worst thing ever. I just would have preferred for the mouse to be something else. Also, Disney about to come after that ass because, you know, they own big ears. Since people are allowed to sue over things that are vaguely familiar and vaguely associated with companies, which we got a little bit, a few more updates and a few video clips about Power World later on. I don't know if it's going to be later on as in the video you're watching, but later on if you're in the stream, which twitch.com/QaptainSlander. Come through. And when you spell it with a Q this time. Anyway, downside surprise. Good things come in small packages. Yes, I do agree with that. I want to see what their reasons for it though, because this was a cool level mechanically. Speaking of levels that make the most of a tiny space, we have my personal favorite level that isn't directly based on a PlayStation IP. Downside supersize seems pretty unassuming at first, but when you gain access to the mouse power-up, then you understand the nuances, the scale, and the finer details hiding in plain sight. Shrinking down allows you to explore in hard-to-reach areas, which is one of the cooler parts of this game. Like, there were a lot of areas and secret hidden stuff that you had to get creative with shrinking down to think of and to get into, and that's another thing I like about Astrobot. Astrobot, when you're playing it, that game never, ever, ever disrespects your intelligence. Astrobots just assumes that you're capable, and they give you the tools in case like you don't want to do all that, but they never ever in this game assume that you're a dumbass. They let you figure it out, they let you struggle, and they have the tools in place for if you don't want to struggle and you want to have a more casual, chill experience. And that's something that I love when any game integrates. Like, yeah, some people have fun solving puzzles, but some people just need that skip puzzle button, you know? It's sublime level design that showcases that size does matter. Whoa. Shows that size does matter and shows what you can do with a very limited space. Yeah, because when you play this level, if you really think about it, this level's very, very small and very, very short. But when you shrink down and interact with everything in the game on a smaller scale, the level becomes larger and it's more to do and it's more things to see and interact with, which is very cool. I wonder if one day somebody's gonna make it so that you can use any power up in any level, or if Astrobot is gonna add like a way for you to unlock the ability to use any power up in any level, because I just personally think that would be something like cool to integrate, something cool that could just be put in a game. The only criticism I have regarding this level is that there aren't more like it, but then again, that ensures that this one stands out as memorable and special. Fair. I wouldn't have minded if there was more of the levels where you turn into a snitch, but again, I'm not a tattletale, so I really wouldn't have played them. Bot of War, boy. Also seen a video on TikTok mentioning that there's a Jacksepticeye reference in this video, where it said, because you know how I was saying throughout the game when I was playing that none of the characters have their direct names. Like for example, for Kratos, instead of putting Kratos, they put Father of Boy. Apparently that was a reference to Jacksepticeye, so you know, a little fun fact there for you. I mean, there's probably other people who said it, but I heard it was a reference to Jacksepticeye, so that's what I'm running with. Some may have seen Kratos' modern storyline as a softer, more lighthearted and emotionally, I don't know about lighthearted, but I didn't play the game, so I'm from the outside looking in, but I don't know about lighthearted. Some may have seen Kratos' modern storyline as a softer, more lighthearted and emotionally charged version of Kratos. However, it would be hard to argue against his inclusion in Astrobot being the most cute and cuddly version of the god-killing Spartan. God of War is a God of War themed level, blah 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 blah. There are so many fun references to the beloved PlayStation IP, allowing you... Yeah, one of the things that I knew was a cool reference, and this is like a reference to just the PlayStation over-the-shoulder third-person formulaic ass games, is that they all have parts of the game where they have like what I learned like this year, even though I've been doing it for like the last 2-3 years, is basically like a way to hide loading screens whenever you gotta have that dumbass mechanic where you gotta turn sideways and squeeze through a crack in the wall for like 10 seconds. Yeah, that's a hidden loading screen. I didn't know that until earlier this year, but they even had a reference to that in the level, to where I was like, even though I'm not particularly a fan of God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, I was like, I know that much about the game and I can appreciate like references like that. That's pretty cool. Take out Odin's ravens as you go and much more. The only thing that's missing is Mimir hanging from your backside, but we could forgive that minor omission. If Mimir is a little head, they had him in the level, so I don't know. Yeah, that's the head. So yeah, he was in the level. He was definitely referenced. The fuck? Oh, wait, what the fuck? Yeah. The fuck? Why is it still coming through? Wait. Why is it not coming through the right speakers? Hold on 1 second. It's a good thing I noticed that just now. Good thing I had to Google search that. Okay, always use the default playback device. Okay, I had to check that 1 second. I had to correct that. Correct that. You know, sometimes you gotta step up and correct what need to be corrected. You feel me, Kyler? You feel me, Crother? Anyway, the only downside is that the boss at the end is a little underwhelming, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do, and I actually enjoyed the boss. I mean, to me, that's one of the more enjoyable parts of the level, the boss. I also am sad that, like they said earlier, there's a lot of mechanics and items that you only get for one level. Even though I'm not a fan of God of War, using the little axe that freezes water, I feel like that could have been a cool thing in some like other levels. I don't know, that's just me, but I understand why it's only in that one level. I respect it. I honestly want more levels where you do the job of different characters in the game and games with iconic items. Save that for Astrobot 2. Don't try and take every suggestion and fill it in this game. I hope they save that for Astrobot 2. But epic Gao soundtrack playing in the background makes up for that somewhat. I didn't care for that, but I like the level overall. I praise the fuck out this level. This is top 3 levels, undebatably. Fucking industry plant ass game. Fuck out of here. Y'all heard me that whole level. I was like, all right, bro, this is miserable. This level, we're not even gonna talk about that. I was loathing the entire level. I was like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here. Get me the fuck out of here. But now that we're done with the good PlayStation news, we're done with good PlayStation, with happy PlayStation. We're done with the thumbs up PlayStation. Now, We got to talk about the negatives. I don't know if this is necessarily a compliment sandwich, but I eased you in. I didn't just start smacking you from behind full speed with bad PlayStation news. I eased into it. I said, look. And now I'm speeding up. I'm at the part where I'm speeding up and I'm about to get way faster in a second. But first, let me sit down. Table, sit. Yeah, I can do that. I can make my table sit down. But let's read on, cause it's funny that they used Warhammer in the thumbnail, because this is the game I noticed it with too. Cause I didn't mind this and it was actually cool, but I could see how like in the future this shit could get problematic and kind of annoying. But let's read on and see. Like I always say, skip the first couple paragraphs, because they're usually tag stuffing or summarizing the shit that I'm trying to read. What appears to be happening is the PS5 is pulling in the latest news for each game, whether it be a YouTube video or announcement. However, some users criticize the move for replacing the main video game images on the home page with what are in some cases old, outdated adverts. I can understand that, because there especially is a lot of people in like the PlayStation camp that want PlayStation themes to come back. So like to take away PlayStation themes and then give us these like somewhat cool looking backgrounds for the game just to like turn around and then take the little semblance, the little similarities, the thing that could be considered to replace themes, to go further and take that away. That's kind of disrespectful to people. Now, I used to have a lot of themes that I used to claim and I have a lot attached to my account because I just thought they were cool. Them taking it away, for me, it wasn't a big deal, but I know there are some people that legitimately don't have any fucking games on their console, so sometimes they just sit on the home screen and look at the home screen. And to have the home screen, the one thing that they did play, because you know some people only play Call of Duty or Fortnite, or they use a PlayStation as a fucking Netflix, Hulu, YouTube machine, right? So excuse me. So for people like that, like, yeah, themes probably matter a lot to them, but even so, it's kind of cool to be able to have different themes. Like I remember on my PlayStation 4, for the longest, I had the Spyro theme on my joint. And even though I didn't look at it often, it was cool to have the menu look different every once in a while, you know? It's just cool to have a little bit of variety, have something that differs a little bit. So to take away themes and then to do this in its place, I can understand why some people may feel disrespected. IGN's testing shows that the latest promotional Warhammer blah 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 released by the publisher has replaced the art. Yeah, I can confirm this because this is what made me click on this article. Not necessarily like this, but I seen this happen with my Space Marines and I looked at it. I was like, oh, they got a little video talking about Titus. I was like, I'm not finna sit here and watch this, but I mean, it's cool that I know about it now. Maybe I'll go on YouTube and watch it later, which it's an advert. That's the point of an advert. Then I clicked into my game. Back with Wukong, meanwhile, now forces an image signaling the latest patch notes. Oh, that's nasty. Ew, that the words on the side beside all the I'm gonna definitely show y'all when I boot about that, because I don't have to turn it all the way on. Wait, let me make sure it's connected. Activate. Okay, just to show y'all, this is my PlayStation booted up. Right now I have the Warhammer disc in, I believe. So look, the finals, it still shows the regular background. Space Marines, it's even the same video still. Let's see, Astrobot is just a background. Playroom, that don't count. Brawler is just a background. Quidditch, I haven't played this in a while, neither this, but I need to. As video library, Rise of the Ronin. So it doesn't apply to every game, but you know, turn off PS5. It doesn't apply to every game, but you know, major newer games is probably going to apply to more often. So yeah, just to show y'all, Black Myth, blah blah blah, On Team Returns. So they're basically going over that. All other users have reported particularly confusing ads. MP first showed how an ad for the upcoming Lego Horizon Adventures take the background when selecting Horizon Zero Dawn, looking like you're about to play a game that's not out yet. You know damn well you brought Horizon Zero Dawn. Why the fuck would you think you're playing Lego Horizon? Nigga, do you like, when I'm getting ready to select a game, I don't like cover up this portion of the screen and just look at the background. Like, I'm looking at this little square to see what game I'm picking. So well, you know what, customer service, assume the customer is capable of being stupider than stupid. That's a real thing that I was taught in customer service. You gotta assume the customer is capable of being stupider than stupid. Doesn't mean they are, just means they're capable of, and somebody's going to be. Perhaps most annoying of all, some of the latest news the PS5 pulling from is significantly out of date, which may confuse some less clued up users. For example, Miles Morales brute forces an advertisement for the coming soon movie theater release of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which actually came out in June 2023. Okay, this one, I could understand how it may be confusing, but I'm more confused on why you don't just pick up your phone and Google it. I mean, you might be able to Google it if this piece of shit console had a fucking browser, but it doesn't. 2K25 showcased an ad for early access to the game, which is now nearly a month old, and you can't get early access to the game if it's already out. Bizarrely, some games do not use a new advert system. Perhaps there's no latest news to pull from. The recent release Astrobot, which I showed you, is spared for now, as is Yakuza, whatever that second word is, too. The PlayStation dashboard has featured ads for years now, but they were mostly relegated to the PlayStation Store section, blah blah blah. There was some speculation that Sony added this feature as part of the PS5's Welcome Hub firmware update that nobody gives a fuck because it's going to be a neglected tab that nobody uses, but there was no mention of that in a patch notes, blah blah blah. There definitely should be a way to disable this. A nigga number 9 on Reddit says, there definitely should be a way to disable this. I get its usefulness in modern games that are still getting updated since it displays the newest news item. It's a lot more problematic with older titles though. They use the damn, what are these called? Not commas. Quotation marks, fuck. They use quotation marks wrong because when you're quoting something inside, because when you're quoting something inside a quote like this, for example, you don't use the double quotation marks, you use apostrophes, singular quotation marks, to denote that they're talking inside, that they're quoting something inside of a quote item. It's a lot more problematic with older titles. It just ends up covering your screen with irrelevant information that's potentially a decade out of date. I don't get it. Like I said, besides only if you really care about themes does this really matter. Terrible decision. It's not that fucking serious, and I hope it gets changed or a way out to opt out quickly. I believe in the EU legally there has to be a way for any device for you to opt out of ads, so hopefully the EU, hopefully they like realize that and fall in line with the EU regulations. But I don't think the EU is gonna come crashing down because this isn't a malicious violation. It's not like they're shoving the ads in the interface in a way to where you have to like manually press something to skip past the ad to get to the game. Like, technically speaking, you don't even have to look at the fucking ad at all in the first place. So I don't really take too much of an issue with it, but for people who miss PlayStation themes, I can understand why this feels disrespectful. It's like, not only did you take away themes, you replaced them with fucking advertisements. Not only advertisements, but advertisements that sometimes are just wrong and out of date. Terrible decision, and I hope it gets changed. Says random nigga number 9. At least with the Explore tab. Oh wait, hold up. At least with the Explore tab, I could ignore it and not have to infect every game I own. It's weird that in this quote they improperly use quotation marks, but in this quote they didn't properly use quotation marks. That's kind of weird to me. It's kind of weird to me. Maybe it's a British thing. But oh, this article is shorter than I thought. But this one isn't so much negative. It's more like a PlayStation history thing, which I should have put it in front of the other one. Or at the end. Actually, yeah, we're gonna put this at the end. I'm gonna put this at the end and read these two articles. That'll be a compliment sandwich. Now, I just wanted to bring this article up more so to make fun of console niggas, because for the longest time I've been telling console niggas I will never ever buy a console over 600 to 800 600 for the base price of the console, 800 after you get the full package. So that means if it's being bundled with a game, if it's being bundled with a special controller or accessory type, that's different. I'm talking about a base console plus getting games and controllers and stuff like that. If it ever exceeds 800, I was like, dog, you might as well put another 200 with it and just build yourself a fucking PC. For $1,000, you could get a good PC. Because keep in mind, when you get this PS5 Pro, you're not getting any games with it. If you want to play your old games that are on disc, you gotta buy the disc drive. And guess what? I got something for you dumbass niggas that say, but I'm playing, I download all my games digitally. Okay, yeah, you do. But what happens when you want to download and keep more games in your rotation than space on a PS5, and you don't want to delete and download games all the time, because not everybody has 200 million down and up speed internet. So you don't want to constantly delete things, but you want to rotate between your games. Well, guess what? You're going to need a hard drive. So you either got to pay $80 for a hard drive or a disk drive. Then on top of that hard drive size disk drive, which the hard drive you might still have to get even if you get a disk drive, you got to get the vertical stand, because if you want to lay it vertical or horizontal, you still need that stand, or else your console is going to be wobbling all over the place and it's going to be unstable and unsafe. There's that. Then you got to get games, PS5 specific games. Let's say you want to get yourself an Astrobot, a Warhammer, something like that. Got to get yourself a couple games to play on that bitch, or else you just bought the console for no fucking reason. Then you got to get an extra controller, because what if your mans come over and you want to play? What if your shorty come over and she want to play? So yeah, all that being said, for the same price range, you could build a fucking computer. Look, see it on Amazon. Let's see how much this computer part costs. $184. Ooh. That's how much y'all pay for one edition of 2K. I don't want to hear y'all don't have $180 to spend on one graphics card piece, because the whole fucking PlayStation is over 180 put together. Look, ooh, graphic. Why they recommending Radeon cards? Ugh. I mean, I would rather somebody build a PC with a Radeon card than just simp for consoles. Look, RAM, motherboard, all this stuff put together. How much does it all cost? You could build equivalent to the PS5 Pro. Now that's Sony. A little else. I've taken a look at the specs and to see what an equivalent gaming PC would look like. And well, you could build a machine using practically the same hardware for just a bit more than buying the new, more expensive console. I know the PS5 Pro is already expensive, but having one of the best gaming PCs is useful for more than just video games, and it'll be supported much longer than Sony will support its console too. That's another thing. After about 10 years, Sony's not going to drop new security patches, updates, none of that for this console. So if there's like a virus in this console, like right now, if there's a virus in a PS3 code that can make it so that people could hack into the PS3 and find all your personal information and all that crazy stuff, guess what? You're screwed. Sony's not dropping an update for that shit at all. They don't care. Buy a PS4, bitch. Buy a PS5, preferably Pro. Bitch ass, broke ass nigga. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this up to show that I hate you console niggas that make excuses for why there's no reason to buy a PC when buying a PC is a better deal than buying a console. Because not only can you do more on your PC than your console, it also costs less in the long run, because games on PC are always cheaper than if they're on console. Because on console, a game that came out 5 years ago, they can charge you $70 for it. Steam, even if they charge you $70 for it, Steam itself will sometimes put games on sale and be like, look, you gotta knock this much off your price. It costs them basically nothing to put these games on the internet. It's not like you're buying a disc and they gotta pay for it to get manufactured and shipped anymore. All they're doing is this. Hold on. Let me give you a visual representation of how they upload these games. Okay, so they go on their file explorer, right? God, why is my File Explorer not popping up? The fuck? Okay, there we go. I don't know why I was acting weird for a second. This is how hard it is. They go in their File Explorer, they go through their files, they might go do. Here's the gaming folder. Pretend is a folder full of different games. Okay, we want to put this game on the server. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that on the server. Wait for it to upload. Bing! Game uploaded. You don't have to do anything after that. If the game doesn't sell or you run out of licenses, you could just take the fucking game down. You don't lose any money. You don't lose any real significant amount of money compared to if you were to pay for the game to actually get manufactured and shipped. Because if you pay for the game to get manufactured and shipped, if you make 1 million copies and you only sell 100,000 copies, you lost a whole lot of money and your life is gonna suck for a little while as a studio. Versus when you upload the game to a server, it's like, hey, server costs $30 a month. We put however many games we feel like putting on it, expand it as needed. Like, and going on my rant of like physical versus digital, which was unintentional, I swear it was. Are physical copies of games really the answer when nobody owns anything? I thought this would be interesting because one thing I knew a long time ago that a lot of people don't realize is that when you buy a game physically, wait, hold on. Before I get into this convo, let me drink some water. By the way, like I be saying in a lot of these videos, if you not out here drinking water, don't complain when you get old and your liver's like sandpaper. Every time you try to take a piss out your dry ass urethra, your dick crinkling all over the place and you wondering why you can't get no more hard pisses. Because your body dehydrated. Drink some water, pussy. Maybe you'll have more water. Maybe you'll have more water to push out with force if you drink some, old ass nigga. Anyway, back to this conversation. One thing I knew a long time ago about like gaming on physical is that when you game on physical, you only own a license to play that game yourself. Let me explain. So even though games have like, there are games with like co-op and stuff like that, legally speaking, and I don't know if they still do this, but I remember I saw this like originally in like 2012 or something like that when I was a little kid, and I seen it again in an article in a gaming manual I randomly read in like the last couple years. So I don't know if last couple years is in like 2-3 years ago. I don't know like when exactly, but it was at least 2-3 years ago. Point is, legally you're not supposed to share all of your games. Like for example, if I have this game, like, right? Like, hold your hand out. Pull your arm out and hold it out. Got you, dumbass nigga. I don't know why you held your hand out. This is a fucking video. But legally speaking, if I have a game, right? This game right here, Warhammer Space Marines, and you say, yo, bro, I am by Space Marines. I want to play it. Legally, me picking up this copy of Space Marines and going here, go ahead, play the game. You're not supposed to do that. Legally, you did not purchase the rights to be able to do that with the game. You purchased the rights for you to play, to install and use this game on your own hardware. And legally speaking, even if you were to say, damn, I'm tired of playing this game. Here you go. You can play for me while I go to the bathroom or while I go get some snacky snacks or something like that. Technically speaking, that's also illegal. Now, it's one of those things that's like technically illegal, like carrying an ice cream, which I don't know if that's actually legal. Like dancing during the national anthem. It's like, yeah, it's illegal, but cops aren't gonna kick down your window and tackle you and body slam you and tase you until you drool just because while the national anthem was going on, you said, hey. Like, no, that's not ever gonna happen, but technically it is a law. It's one of those type things. So I knew this for a very long time, and I wanted to read this and see. This is a second and a guest column series from Time Extension, a site dedicated to bringing you the biggest news and features from the world of retro and classic gaming, showcasing, okay, blah, blah, blah. Skip the first paragraph. The intention of his law. Oh, wait, no, this first one might actually be relevant. Last week, there came the news that a new law was being introduced in California, which forbids digital storefronts from using words purchase and buy when it comes to downloads, reflecting a reality that such transactions are merely licenses and don't actually involve you owning the damn game. The intention of this law is simple. As we move ever closer to an all digital future, I hate that. I hate the idea of an all digital future. You own nothing and be happy. No, I won't. Don't speak for me, bitch. It becomes more important than ever to make sure that consumers are aware of what their money is doing. Make sure they are aware the money they hand over doesn't grant them unfettered and timeless access to things like movies, albums, video games. The small print clearly states, yeah, but it's a reason why that print is small. Is there anything more satisfying than a game library with real physical games? Yeah, it's called Coochie. But yeah, it is pretty cool to have like physical games in your house that you could touch. Some have already argued that this law, whilst welcome, doesn't go far enough to protect consumers. That's fair. It lays the groundwork to make it so that those things can happen, because the way that the law works, you can't just introduce a new major law out of nowhere. Nobody will give a fuck. You gotta lay the groundwork and make sure that it affects people in high positions, or else they won't give a fuck, and you'll introduce the law and they'll go, get that dumbass shit out my face. We got better and more important things to focus on, like war crimes. Anyway, but it's hard to see how any legislation around online purchases could deal with events such as publishers going bust or media licensing issues, removing a product from active distribution, which is always a thing that sucks for you to buy a game and then years and years later the licensing for a one song and a back menu that you aren't even able to technically access that song, they lose the licensing on it. Now they got to take the whole game down, or they got to take that song out the game. Like a prime example, Spec Ops The Line. Moving a product is not like creating a physical item which remains reassuringly tangible even when the company behind it has long since gone. Sleeping dogs. Digital content has to be hosted online, and with that comes a cost. Instead, this law should hopefully convince those who have grown up with digital distribution that there is an alternative. Nah, I feel like you're asking the law to do some shit it wasn't intended to do. All this law is intending to do is lay groundwork for like those type of laws to be put in place. A and B, all this law is supposed to do is like make it clear that you're not buying it. That's, you know, like it doesn't make sense to say that this law is supposed to do all these great things in gaming and it's supposed to solve the problem of physical versus digital ownership of gaming. Nah, that was never the law. That was never the aim, design, or intention of the law. The intention of the law was more so just, hey, bruh, you don't own that game. The website says buy, but you're only buying a license. Of course, embracing physical games also means dealing with having to keep track of where the disc or cartridge is at any given time. Organize yourself, goofy ass. We're headed towards the gaming future, which is tethered. What the fuck does that mean? Search. How do you pronounce that?
Inexorably. In a way that is impossible to stop or prevent. True. Tethered to the online experience, especially with games like Concord, for example, or Overwatch 1, where when the company abandons that game, it's pretty much put this showed up, fuck you. You just brought that disc for no reason. That's the same way I feel about Overwatch 1. I built that disc and I really want to punch a fucking wall because that disc don't mean a damn thing. However, even this approach isn't without its issues. Many modern games, especially on Switch, ship without all the game data on the card. Well, Switch cartridges are small as fuck, so there's a reason for that partially. Excuse me. The expectation is that where did I lose? That the rest of the game will be downloaded by the end user. But what if I don't have internet at the time? When they first load it up and connect to the internet. Likewise, there are many other games that will change dramatically. Taking all this into account, we're headed towards a gaming future that's tied to the internet. The recent shutdown of 3DS and Wii U. Okay, a lot of this feels like fucking tag stuffing. But yeah, they make some good points in this article. I mean, if y'all want to read the rest of that, y'all could... fuck IGN. There you go. Go ahead, read that. Yep, that's the first part. There you go. That's a nice clean picture. That's the second part. There you go. But it feels like they're making some great points in this article, and they're saying some things that I really feel like are relevant to like just buying game physical versus digital that I very deeply agree with. Now for a positive story. So I ended up making a compliment sandwich by mistake. Let me see if my clap it up button will work. No, it will not. I ended up making a compliment sandwich by mistake. Clap it up for me. Father of PlayStation recall how everyone at Sony thought it would fail. They was praying on his downfall. He said they was praying on his downfall, but it ain't happened. During the early 90s, Ken Kutaragi, I think that is Mr. Kenny K. During the early 90s, Mr. Kenny K and Sony attempted to collaborate with Nintendo on an early version of PlayStation, which is a true fact, which was intended as a CD drive for the SNES. When the partnership faltered, Kenny K and Sony moved forward with the original PlayStation in '94. Although that system ultimately changed the entire video game industry, Kenny K still recalls the doubters both inside and outside of Tony 25 years later. My dumb ass said, Tony, I need some more water. Hold on. I'm saying my words per minute is getting a little bit too high. It's starting to get lightheaded. Chill. Anyway, keeping on track. During the early 90s, Kenny K and Sony moved forward with the original PlayStation in '94. Although that system ultimately changed the entire video gaming industry, Kenny K still recalls niggas praying on his downfall both inside and outside of Sony 25 years later. We wanted to share our passion for this shit, Big Kenny K said at Tokyo Game Show via VGC. We wanted to hear the expectations, what they did not expect. We wanted to hear what they thought we was going to do right, and we wanted to hear what they thought we was going to do wrong. We wanted to hear everything they had to say. We visited mad companies. It was probably, if not in the hundreds, up there, boy, up there. We visited a lot of game makers too. It was honestly good times. It was good vibes. All them niggas was like, nah, we can't fuck with this though. They was just like, yo, bro, don't do that shit. There's too many people successful in that lane. That lane kind of saturated. You sure you don't want to build hubcaps or something? This shit ain't it, gang. And he was like, that's what they told us? But I didn't believe it for not one single second. Them niggas was bitch made. It's understandable why not everyone shares Big Kenny K's passion for the project. When PlayStation entered the chat, Nintendo and Sega were the only two dominant console makers. Yeah, look how that turned out. Sega pack. Sega. Somebody should edit that. It's understandable why not everybody share Kenny K's passion for the project. When PlayStation entered the market, Nintendo and Sega. Oh, I'm reading the same shit over. Microsoft had a similar experience in '01 when it had to hard follow Sega's Dreamcast and PlayStation 2 into the market. Sega soon exited. Blah blah blah. I think this is a part of that's the tag stuff and part of the article, y'all. My fault, OG. Did it not exit out the tab? Am I bugging? Okay. Epic fires off fresh lawsuits over what a pain it is to download Fortnite. I agree. I don't know if you've ever tried to download Fortnite, but that shit is not in the App Store. Just to make sure, we go to Play Store. And what was I looking for? Oh, Fortnite. What was I supposed to be searching? No. Oh. Where's the search bar? What the fuck? Okay, instead of having an hourglass, shit just says search. Anyway. So as you can see, when you go to the Google Play Store, you literally just can't search and find Fortnite. What you would have to do is you would have to download something called an APK and then install that APK. Now, for those of you who've never like played around with phones as much as I have, basically an APK is like when you're using a computer and you have a damn EXE. Instead of an EXE, you have an APK. Yo, these numbers are fucking frying me. I'm tired. But you download an APK and you download that APK. It's just that with this whole Fortnite thing, you only have one way to play Fortnite on mobile, and that's to go to the Epic Games website and download the Fortnite APK and install it. Thing about that is there's malicious players when it comes to EMP and all that stuff. So bro, I keep saying the wrong fucking letters. My dumbass said EMP. Somebody EMP'd my damn brain. But yeah, point is you have to jump through a lot of hoops and hurdles to download Fortnite to your phone. Let's read on. Wait, actually, not gonna lie, not gonna read this whole article because I thought this shit was going to be way short. Oh wait, it is. Oh wait, nope. 3 sections, whatever. In 2023, Epic successfully convinced the jury that Google's prevention of allowing alternative app stores on its own devices was anti-competitive. That is a fact. My brain is tired. My brain is tired today. So sorry if I'm like going off in a rambly statements. My brain just got tired out of nowhere. I've been working all today. In 2023, Epic successfully convinced the jury that Google's prevention of allowing alternative app stores on its devices was anti-competitive, and as a result of that, EGS is now an app. As of August this year, you can install on your Android devices worldwide. Meanwhile, European iOS gamers can now play Fortnite on all their phones, while US and the rest of the world still cannot. The fuck? What makes them so special? I don't get it. Actually, America got some dumbass kids that would rather play Fortnite than pay attention in class. Yeah, keep that shit off of phones. The new case focused on what a massive pain in the ass it is to achieve what's now legally enforced. If you try to install the Epic Games, the EGS on any Android device, yeah, because before you had to download the APK. There are settings you have to change to allow to use external unapproved APK files to install. Yeah, that's a fact, because I tried to install a long time too to get away from a Ghost and Danny Phantom. Boy, was I sure dumb for that. Anyways, and if you've tried to do it on Samsung, as I recently did when trying to put Fortnite on my son's tablet, you'll know it also involves the tearing out of a considerable amount of hair. Wasn't it? What wasn't it? What? My brain is bad today because I really thought I was still reading the top 5. I'm running on fumes right now, bruh. I'm running on fumes right now. I need more water too. Crazy part is I don't even know where this random ass tiredness is coming from. I've been fucking fine all day. I ate today and all that. I don't know where this is coming from. Anyways, oh, this is gonna be its own separate video. This is definitely gonna be its own separate video. So let me drink my water. Let me drink my water and stand up and stretch real quick. Actually, let me stand up, period. Hopefully I get less sleepy. I feel a little bit of sleepiness leaving. Now look, this right here in particular was a very, 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 very big piece of news over the last couple days. And I have a couple articles, a couple TikToks and whatnot breaking down the scenario. But first thing I wanted to do was read this article real quick and watch a video I had about it. Oh no, video right there. I watch because I was scrolling on TikTok over the weekend, because one thing I often frequently do is I train my For You page over the weekend on TikTok to show me certain kinds of content, because one thing I've known forever is whenever you use social media, you always have to take responsibility for your home screen. The way that your home screen, your algorithm looks is based on who you follow and what you interact with. Back in like 2016, like 100,000 billion trillion years ago, when the dinosaurs walked the earth and they first dropped Instagram, one thing that like I always used to say to people about Instagram is, if all you see is crazy people on your timeline, that's because yo ass is following World Star Hip Hop. That's because yo ass is following the Shade Room, looking at T every day. That's why you got bad vibes, negativity, and all this stuff in your soul, in your spirit, because that's all you're watching. Now it's a little bit more complicated because they have For You pages, but the same thing generally applies. But back to what I was saying now. Netflix adaptations of Overwatch, Diablo, and StarCraft were reportedly in development before Activision Blizzard filed the lawsuit against the streaming giant. Now, I don't know what the lawsuit is for, and I don't know what the fuck they mean by in development. I've steered clear of all news besides like saving it. Like if I seen any news about this, instantly the first thing I did was I saved it and I said I'm gonna talk about it on stream. Because as somebody who was a fan of 2016 Overwatch, especially the story and the cinematics, and the number one thing I wanted at an Overwatch 2 was the fucking story mode that I got robbed of and never got, is the number one thing that turned me off to Overwatch 2. So let's read on and see what they talking about, and then let's watch that video breakdown. Ooh, this Kiriko skin look hard. When you purchase through whatever. Once upon a time, Overwatch, Diablo, and StarCraft were all reportedly right, first paragraph. Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier, okay, if he's a Bloomberg reporter, we'll be able to see when we look it up in Bloomberg. They're pretty reputable. They vet their journalists and whatnot. Born 37, 2018, known for video game journalism. Bloomberg.com. He has a profile on the website. So I don't know if this dude is necessarily a reliable source, but he has a track record of working in the gaming industry. He is the average age of a gamer, which if you don't know, the average age of a gamer is about 35. He's 37, so he's close to that age range. You go down, you can see he has a LinkedIn, he has an official social media, he has an actual social media presence. May not be the heaviest presence, but he has one. So I'll give what he's saying some merit. As that hosted an Ask Me Anything session on Reddit yesterday. Okay, so this is coming from what he said on Reddit. Takes down the credibility a peg, just a tiny peg. The credibility was 98%. We could take that down and put it to 80, you know. Bloomberg reporter session on Reddit ahead of the release of his book about Blizzard Entertainment. Ooh, I might have to keep an eye on that, because I want to hear about all the fuck shit that happened at Blizzard. I want to know how did they fuck up everything so bad so many times in a row and still manage to make millions and millions before the predatory monetizations, because they used to make money before that. Blizzard is a very long-standing studio. They've been around since the 90s or the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. When was BLIN Studios founded? So yeah, from the 90s to the 2000s, early 2000s, the 2010s to now. This company is about 30 years old. Blizzard Entertainment was founded by February 1991. That's all I need to point out. It was made in 1991. So For those of y'all who don't know, Blizzard did not just pop up in 2016 with Overwatch. They've been around and they've been in the game for a while, and they weren't always known as a shitty company. It was around the Overwatch era where they started to come into that. Before, they were coveted. There was problems here and there, but before that, they were coveted, and over time, from Overwatch to now, the company just said, woo, went downhill. I'm not a historian enough to point to like where it all began, but from what I know, it was around Overwatch. Anyway, here during the AMA, Big Jason S was asked if he had any insight into why Blizzard hasn't ventured far into the world of TV and movies, 2016's Warcraft movie adaptation aside. Oh yeah, there was a World of Warcraft movie. I forget, that movie's so forgettable. I'm not gonna lie, if you look at reviews of that movie, a lot of people are gonna shit at that movie and call it the worst thing ever. But as somebody who's not a fan of World of Warcraft, that movie wasn't the worst thing ever. I've seen Catwoman, all right? I've seen Catwoman. World of Warcraft isn't the worst thing that ever touched this earth. Catwoman is. And there's probably even shit worse than that. I did not. The book reveals that they had a series in development with Netflix for StarCraft, Overwatch, and Diablo. But did he just violate NDA? Unfortunately, for anyone hoping to see the likes of Tracer and Winston being buddies and hanging out on their own Netflix show, I don't know about them specifically, but I would want to see them interact. It's a big but. Jason shares a link to an old Variety story covering news of Blizzard filing a lawsuit against Netflix after allegedly hiring its former CFO, Spencer Newman, when he was less than 2 years into a contract that agreed he'd be employed by Activision for damn. Yeah, I would sue too. I would sue, and I would not want to work with you over some shit like that. And then back in 2017, for all you little motherfuckers that watch this content, or anybody that just forgot, in 2017, there wasn't 100,000 streaming services. So if you wanted to make an animation on a mainstream level and you were Blizzard and you weren't necessarily like in the movie space, but you wanted to put something out to a large audience, Netflix was the only option for a streaming service. Because before 2020, no other streaming service mattered. They existed, but before 2020, if your name wasn't Netflix, pack it the fuck up. Nobody was watching your service. Your shit probably died, or your Hulu, which Hulu, nobody watched Hulu back then. Hulu was baby Netflix back then. Hulu's baby Netflix, baby Disney Plus now. Nobody gives a fuck about Hulu. If your show's a Hulu exclusive, niggas start scratching their head like, oof, you an exclusive to where? To what website? Ooh, yeah, you might as well have released the shit on YouTube, my boy. But anyways, back then, to work with Netflix and to terminate a deal with Netflix in 2017, oh, that means Netflix, they really felt like Netflix violated them as a corporation and basically like spit in their face and disrespected them to go behind their back and hire their CFO that was still in the middle of a deal with them. Covering news, hiring CFO Spencer Newman when he was less than. Activision claimed at the time it had also been granted the right to extend his contract to 4 years. Needless to say, Activision Blizzard wasn't thrilled, and at this time, it sought compensation, a permanent injunction to stop Netflix from soliciting Activision's employees who are subject to valid fixed-term agreements or inducing such employees to breach their valid fixed-term employment agreements. Which, on behalf of that employee, if I was that employee, I would say, yo, bro, go wherever you're gonna get more money. Because always remember, you are a fucking person, not a member of this corporation. If this corporation lives, if this corporation dies, at the end of the month, your bills are going to be due. Which corporation is going to pay you more? So if bro was ready to switch sides because the benefits and the pay were better, I'm not really going to speak on that because I don't know the exact details of that. But I'm just talking to you, the viewer. Fuck these corporations. Never stick up for a corporation, because that corporation damn sure ain't gonna stick up for you. In a Reddit thread, Jason didn't elaborate on whether plans Plans for the supposed StarCraft, Overwatch, Diablo series have been canceled for good forever for till the end of time, or how far through development they were in the first place, but the legal dispute would certainly explain why we haven't seen anything come of them. I think it could. I don't think it would work out. Reason, if for Overwatch specifically, I don't know how strong the StarCraft community is. Diablo, it has to be a good show first. But let me read. It'll be interesting to see if any of the 3 games get their own adaptations. After all, Diablo boss Rob recently said he thinks the RPG could translate very well to that format. Okay, cool. They said a whole bunch of fucking nothing, and I'm actually mad that I read that. Anyways, out of all these 3 franchises, the one that I think has the best chance is Diablo. And the reason why, because you may be sitting there like, man, I love Overwatch. Overwatch is cool. Overwatch is freaking amazing. I don't think Overwatch is in good graces, would be in good graces with the fans like they were in 2017. Because if they would have dropped this shit before 2020 on Netflix, before every streaming service, everybody had a damn streaming service, this would have went gold. This would have went triple platinum. And I'm not saying it would have been on a level with Arcane, because I personally haven't seen Arcane, so I don't know how good it is or isn't. But as high as people regard Arcane, Overwatch could have been a precursor to that. But Overwatch right now, their standing with gamers in the gaming community right now isn't really the greatest. So I don't think that's going to work out the way that they think it's going to work out, especially because a lot of the stuff and a lot of the strength of the fan base that they had when they dropped Overwatch 2016 versus them dropping Overwatch now, a lot of strength they had is just not there. The sense of wonder, the sense of wanting to see the story get fleshed out, it's not there anymore, because all these characters have already been in various like animated shorts on YouTube. They've been in comic books. They've been in fucking like stuff like quotes inside the story and lore crafting and stuff like that, and the devs revealing information about the canon and the writing. Like, I feel like the shock and amazement and wonder of Overwatch is not going to be as strong as the way it was in 2016. I feel like at this point, if they drop a movie or a TV series or whatever for Overwatch, real shit, I'm being dead ass, all people who are fans of Overwatch are going to be pissed off, because unless the show is a freaking 12 out of 10, we're gonna be like, damn bro, you could have put this in a game and put some gameplay in between the scenes every once in a while and had us just play out the fight scenes. Like, what the fuck? Like, y'all not too lazy to make this shit, but y'all can make y'all too lazy to make a fucking story mode, but y'all can make this shit? Like, what the fuck? Pour money into the story mode, my nigga. That's why you said you was gonna make Overwatch 2, and Overwatch 2 came out 2023, 2022, and we still haven't got no fucking semblance of a story mode. Not even story missions where we play out scenarios and we get a cutscene in the beginning. Nothing, none of that. Like, you could basically do what Orcs Must Die does, and at the beginning of every mission, have the 2 characters talk about the mission, and then just go through the mission fighting goons or whatever. Like, it's a lot of things they could have did, and they chose to do none of that. So it's like, StarCraft, again, I don't know how strong StarCraft is, because I know that's a very more of that game is more popular in the East, like in Asian countries and stuff like that, and like European countries. I know that StarCraft is more popular over there, so I don't know how well that would go in the overall world market, because I don't truly understand, because I'm not part of that community. I don't play that game that much. I've played it before, but it's not my cup of tea necessarily. But for Diablo, on the other hand, see, Diablo, they're working with a clean slate. As far as I'm concerned, they haven't massively disrespected their Diablo fans on the level of what the fuck Overwatch did with not only the no story mode, with loot boxes, the battle pass, making the characters paid, and then making the characters free and not compensating anybody who paid to get the characters. Like, I don't know of any incidents that were so big in the Diablo community that they disrespected everybody that played the game. I personally haven't heard anything. So with them, they're basically working with a clean slate. All they have to do is not disrespect the fans of the Diablo games and make it so that it's just a good show first and foremost. Also, I would like to say, if they do make the show, I would love to see it be animated, because like with all the stuff, with the little bit I do know about Diablo, I know that it has like themes of like demonic characters and stuff like that. So I think it would be a cool idea. Like it would give the creative team way more freedom to make a show, make it animated and have it voice acted and whatnot, versus like making it in real life and adding CGI. I pray that if they make a Diablo series, that if just for the art alone, they make it animated. Now, I don't know this dude's credibility. I don't know this dude's body. I don't know this dude's page. I saw this video. I saw like 10-20 seconds of it, and I was like, this sounds like it could potentially be a big story, a cool story to talk about on stream. Let's do it.
Overwatch was going to have a Netflix series, but Activision Blizzard ruined it. Recently, a Bloomberg reporter and author of an upcoming book about the downfall of Blizzard did a Reddit AMA answering people.
Damn, he's writing a whole book dedicated to the downfall of Blizzard. I thought it was just going to be a book about like his life as a journalist in general, and there was just going to be a section about Blizzard, but the whole book is just dedicated to how Blizzard fell off. Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy work.
Questions about both his book and the company.
That's crazy.
In that AMA, we got a ton of information about what exactly has been going wrong with Overwatch over the years. And the one I think will annoy the most people is that Blizzard had a deal with Netflix to produce a Warcraft, Diablo, and Overwatch series, which was completely shut down because
Wow.
Blizzard sued Netflix for poaching their CFO. Essentially, they stole one of their employees. This
Yeah.
is probably one of Blizzard's biggest fumbles as a company in years, and they have made a
Yes.
They had an
Yes.
opportunity to do so
Top five.
series.
Top five.
3 of them have been highly requested by fans throughout the years, and they completely ruined it.
Overwatch more so.
It's unlikely to me that Blizzard will ever get a chance to do something like this again.
True.
PvE
Cause like with Overwatch specifically, I don't know too much about Diablo, but what I do know is that Diablo has like single player modes and stuff like that. And like Diablo has an actual story mode integrated. StarCraft, I don't know so much. Let me look it up. So I'm not talking on my ass. Does StarCraft have a story mode? The story of StarCraft is concluded by the following. Blah, 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 blah. The game is divided into 3 mission prologue and a 19 mission story campaign. Okay, so they do have a story, but let me see something. Let me see if they actually have, if it actually has like cutscenes and stuff like that. Because I want to know if like you actually see specific characters within the StarCraft universe interact with each other. Because if so, it would be cool to see that like in a in this type of format. One day this shit'll load. One day. Okay, this
is HDSKSK here, and I
pause. No, my fucking computer crashed. Oh god, I really need to get a new fucking CPU. This should not be a thing on stream. 1 second, y'all. For those of y'all watching the video version, skip ahead. Skip ahead. I opened too many tabs. Oh my god. Fucking browser hates me. I really need to go through and purge a lot of the tabs I have. You know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start turning on the fucking the RAM and the CPU limiter when I go on stream. That's what I'm gonna do, because I turn this computer and turn it off just to turn it off and turn it on just to make sure I don't have a bunch of unnecessary processes going on early in the day, but I didn't do it right before stream like I planned to start doing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that like right before stream. The way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna set up all my Twitch details. I'm gonna turn my computer off, set them up on this computer in the make sure the audio works first, set up all my details in the meantime, turn it off, turn it on, upload all my videos to socials. Because for those of y'all who don't know, whenever I'm getting ready to stream, swipe on for a second. Whenever I'm getting ready to stream, one thing I do is before stream, I'll go and I'll retweet out my damn video on Twitter with like a skit or something for that day that's relative or to whatever game or whatever articles I'm talking about. So I'll do that every day. So just in case y'all want to get notifications for the stream, now you know. But I'll do that. I'll make sure that in the future, when I do that, I'll make sure it's when my computer is restarting. I'll upload there and I'll upload on TikTok, which I actually want to see how many likes this shit got. Because when I last checked it got like 130 something in like 2 minutes. Which that's the thing that I'm liking that my TikTok's doing now. Like I'll upload a video and in like 5 minutes I'll get like 100 and something views. I mean not views, 100 and something likes. So wee. By the way, like just a social media thing I've like learned in like this year that has really, let me check and make sure my shit. No, I'm good. But one thing I learned in like the last year, social media wise, that really like started helping me out in terms of things to consider and whatnot. It might have. So I gotta keep it off for a good second. I'll be silent for a second. One thing I have learned though that really like started helping me get more than 5.5 views on every video is I realized that when you looking at your videos to see how many views you got, don't look at the actual view count. Look at the if you get a sizable amount of comments and you have a community, look at your comment count first, then your likes, then your views. Views on these platforms don't mean a motherfucking thing unless you're already monetized. If you're not monetized, views don't mean shit, all right? Because you're not gonna get a lot, and the few you do, you gotta worry about conversion rate and the quality that they're getting out of viewing those videos. Not so much like, how do I put this in a reasonable to understand way? You don't really care about if they clicked on a video to watch it. You really more so care about what was the quality of their viewing experience. Like, yeah, sure, you got 30 views, but how long did most of those 30 viewers watch, for example? How many of them said, I like this video enough to take time on my day to hit the like button? You know, stuff like that. How many of them took time out the day to leave a comment real quick? So, yeah, it's more about the quality of the views, and it's always going to be how many people liked your post over how many people fucking watched your post. Because like anybody could land on a post by accident through autoplay or something like that, but did they watch the video? If they did watch the video, did they give a fuck? If they watched the video, did they actually like the video? Did they watch the video because they was in their crib sleep and it just came on a TV? Or did they purposely see a video and purposely click it and enjoyed what they watched so much that they hit the like button and that they left a comment relevant to something you were talking about? You know, I'm just sharing some of the things that helped me and yapping a little bit to pass time on this fucking loading screen, because it's gonna take forever to fucking load. Just in case you don't want to skip by. Let's say you probably, I don't know, you fucking a bad bitch in the background and you can't get up to skip through the video to hear about more of the latest gaming news while you fucking a bad bitch because you in that nice little position or whatever. Or maybe you're just doing something very wholesome like eating her ass instead. Or maybe something, you know, very dirty, very nasty, very heathen like, such as washing the actual fucking dishes, and you just got me in the ear, and because your hands are nice and unwholesomely dirty and wet, you can't skip forward in a video. It is what it is. I definitely will say I'm going to enjoy this little break from talking for a second, and I'm definitely about to go scroll up and down my damn TikTok. Okay.
You know what? I'm not going to lecture you. Instead, I'm going to tell you what the ideal Space Marine 2 fight looks like. Oh, I see enemies. Everybody get behind cover. My shield is up. And tag, tag, tag. All right, cool. I'm going to auspex scan over roundabout with a tag to see if I can get any enemies highlighted. My counterpart, hey, Off-spec scan one of our flanks so that we know if anybody's trying to sneak around us. I'm going to be hanging out behind the bull.
Yup. That's definitely what I'll be doing. I'll be doing my job as a damn vanguard.
With my rifle. When I see somebody with half health, I'm going to switch to my pistol and knife. I'm going to grappling hook them, finish them off, and then that's going to be my bolt.
Your flank is useless if it comes after a teammate dies. Stop taking field trips across the map. That's a fact. Stop going a long way. Learn the fucking map.
Works Q to move up next to me and drop that banner. I'm going to be hanging out behind cover.
Assault breaks enemy offensive line, skirmisher, anti-heavy, anti-bulwark. Damn. These things all feel like they should be common sense for the average Space Marine player, but they're not.
I'm going to jump up high with my jump pack. I'm going to tag some enemies, get a headshot or two. I'm going to dash forward into a charging attack.
Why is my shit not cutting
down
on?
that heavy shielding a little bit. Get the enemy to turn around.
There's no way this shit overheated. What the fuck? I didn't even overclock this CPU. This shit is not even hot. What the fuck is this dumbass shit plugged in? Oh my god. There's no fucking way my computer full blown crash. Like it's, oh, you gotta sit down for like 20 minutes and wait for it to cut back on crash. There's no fucking way. Over a StarCraft? Is StarCraft evil and demonic? Whole time we thought Diablo was about devils. It was really fucking StarCraft that was about devils. Now I gotta go into automatic repair. No. I'm hitting any key. I'm hitting any fucking key. Do not go into automatic repair. I am hitting any key. I'm streaming. What, you need something? Bro, niggas never know how to open the fucking door. Yeah? Let me put him in a cage. No, off of it. Thank you, girly. The fuck is going on?
Finish them off.
Stop that.
My bulwark's cue to move up next to me. And I'm going to be hanging out behind the bulwark taking pot shots.
The fuck isn't it starting
when I see
for?
somebody with half health, I'm going to switch to my pistol and knife. I'm going to grappling hook them, finish them off. And then that's going to be my bulwark's cue to move up next to me and drop that banner. I'm going to be hanging out behind cover. I'm going to jump up high.
Back at Vanguard.
I'm going to tag some enemies, get a headshot or two. I'm going to dash forward into a charging attack. Knock down that heavy shielding a little bit. Get the enemy to turn around. And then I'm going to use that final dash charge to get behind cover if things get too hairy. I'm going to be hanging out in one of these lovely perch spots that the developers engineered for us long-range types. And I'm going to provide Overwatch over this entire area. If anybody from the enemy team gets even remotely low health, I'm going to be there to pick them off. I'm a big chunky boy, so it's easy for me to get flanked. I'm going to find a nice spot where I can see you guys fighting, but I'm also hard for the enemy to reach. I'm going to have some cover. That way, I've got armor, I've got cover, I've got a halo shield. I'm not going anywhere unless the enemy team dives into dangerous territory. Hopefully my team will take care of them.
Oh my fucking god, just go in.
Not fantasy. It didn't involve you being the main character.
Yo, why is my shit not turning on? What the fuck? Off now. No, I told you to get off the bed twice, right? You want to get sprayed with the spray gun? No, you may not get on my lap. No, not right now. No, ma'am. You can look at me all you want. No, ma'am. Try that shit again. I'm gonna spray you. Try that shit again. Oh my god, diagnosing my PC. There's not a fucking thing wrong with it.
Up in the leaderboards, it didn't involve you being the hero. Nope. It involved you simply being a cog in the wheel. Just a member of a team. A typical good citizen of the Imperium. You know what? I'm not.
Hear me out, comma. What if I don't have the mental capacity to do that and I just play this game like it's Call of Duty because every FPS is Call of Duty and my dumbass brain. Oh wait, you can't say that on TikTok. Pussy ass platform. Oh my god, repairing a whole bunch of nothing. Ain't even nothing wrong when you trying to repair shit. Yeah, What? Series finale? There's no way The Simpsons is ending. What? Is The Simpsons ending? Question mark? Better way to start the season. Oh. So just them trolling.
Well, call me. It's fall.
Oh my god, bro. Advanced options.
And now with International Delight Cold Foam Creamer, you can get all your favorite fall flavors in one foaming can. I'm fired up and feeling sassy. Or should I say, spicy?
Oh my fucking god. All right. God damn it. Yo, I'm not watching that StarCraft video. Fuck StarCraft. I'm not even playing the damn game and it made me crash my computer. I don't know how the fuck that worked.
Thanks for the scary story, Sonic. Especially the one about the gopher with the gopher.
Did it ever happen?
Yes.
Did somebody...
Fuck you mean? Oh my god. I forgot they want me to put in this the fuck? How the fuck you gonna tell me what my password is and isn't? Bro, there's no way. Oh my god, just restore my shit. 39, 29, yeah, next. Finish. Yes, I'm not gonna interrupt it. Oh my fucking god.
I play Pot of Greed, allowing me to draw 2 cards from my deck. I activate Big Robot Dragon, which will allow me to...
Oh, hell nah.
I play Pot of Greed,
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
No TikTok, I will not buy ads.
Africans. They're
God damn it. I have to do some kind of fucking thing.
These two distinguished gentlemen just came up on my FYP, rapping their hearts out, giving founding father realness. Now, this isn't the first time they came up on my FYP, but this is the first time I've actually read the story behind how all of this came about. And I feel like they keep getting better and better. I don't know. But it made me a little emotional because the story was that he heard a rap song in the car with his granddaughter and decided that he wanted to try. Called up his buddy.
Good boy.
And they made a YouTube video.
Girl.
And it went viral, right? And the part that made me emotional.
The fuck is that? The fuck? Why is it making that noise? I don't know why it randomly started making that noise. The fuck is going on? Oh my god. There's no way, bro.
Emotional. Number one, it's really good. It is really good. Like, if we put, it's really good music. But I'm reading this book, okay? The Dream Giver. And so I just look at stuff from just totally different perspectives these days. But it just talks about how, everybody has this dream in their heart. But
I need to shoot somebody so I can get a new CPU, man. That shit ain't right.
The courage to bring it to life.
This is a list of underdog fights we have to run when sparking zero.
Me and my roommates were. I'm not sure what it is about making money that makes musicians so uncomfortable, but I've honestly never really understood.
Jam! Never heard that.
Call you that 'cause...
For example, I can't really do right here. Can't really do that. But I do about right.
Oh no, I already know what's happening. How many times do you think this mom is going up the stairs to get hooked back into the pit again? I'm thinking 3, maybe 4. Oh yeah. You know what, Chat? I think I've been here before. I think this has happened to me before. That Lucio just tried to use B. That Lucio just tried to use B. I want to point that out.
There's no
there goes
way.
Maga again. Yep. One more? Can we get one more here, please? Yep,
got more than one more.
There it is. Yep. Wonderful.
There's no
Thank
fucking
you for
way
this.
he kept falling for that.
Oh, imagine if we get it one more time. It probably would have happened one more time if they touched the point there. Oh yeah, they're going for that. Yep, right in. Yeah, that was exactly what it was. Both the Kiriko
I'm gonna make this shit go in a fucking relapse mode
that was
again.
their escape. Why would they lead in with that? That's how they get out. We saw that coming from a mile away with just the description.
I ain't gonna lie. How do you get this little gem?
Huawei has humiliated Apple and China. People preferred the Huawei smartphone so much that barely a week after launch, the iPhone 16 is already selling at a discount. See the difference? Huawei's phone can literally double as a tablet and is the first dual-hinge triple-screen foldable phone in the
The
world.
fuck is going on? Oh my god,
new
bro.
iPhone that has a new button
Shit make me
that
want to
doesn't
punch a
even
wall.
work. Chinese customers are overwhelmingly choosing Huawei. In fact, the iPhone 16 is so bad that
fucking
demand
iPhone sucks. Nice ass. The fuck off my screen. Off my screen. Oh my god, bro. Why me? Why me? Why me? I'm just gonna have to wait like 20 fucking minutes with the screen off. Cause fuck me. It's always the most inconvenient option. I gotta sit here quiet. Y'all just gonna have to skip through. I ain't editing none of this shit, man. Nope, I don't give a fuck. I'm not editing none of this. Y'all just gonna have to do a lot of skipping. There's gonna be a lot of sitting by me. By the time I finish looking through these fucking notifications on my phone, it should be good. If not, uh, um, okay, but yeah, maybe I should have waited to boot up and prep. Yo, 0 reading comprehension, 100% confidence. So they're mechanically racist? All the things in the world you can do with your time and you choose to be mechanically racist. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's been a minute since I've seen the actual Matrix, so I've forgotten the plot. I, honestly speaking, if somebody did that to me, I hope the coffin has a continuous lid that doesn't open up halfway. To show a person's upper body. Oh my god. Usually doesn't mean always. It's an option. Well, that's where they're top tier. Drive Rush. As in the example I stated, it's not ideal to use a wrench to put a nail in the wall, but it's not impossible. And if you don't have a hammer, it's your only option. There's also not ending up in a situation where this matters as valid counterplay too. Well, maybe it'll actually fucking work. Oh my god, now I'm gonna let dumbass automatic pick. Boy, punch that nigga in his jaw. Who is the new Bernie Mac? Who? What? If they would have done this in 2017/18, when the game was new, it would have been over. Yo, I really hate that my computer's acting the fuck up right now. Because, like, bro, I just want to talk about gaming news. What the fuck? What the fuck? I gotta buy a new CPU, bro. I've been trying to put this shit off, but I actually need it now. Did it actually? Hey, there we go. Told you my shit wasn't corrupted. It was just being an asshole. I don't even understand why. This shit feels the same on the side. It didn't even overheat. I know I'm not bugging, bro. She in racial chat room showing feet. Hey, yo. She in racial chat room showing feet. Is in resources showing that. Okay, I'm fine with that. As long as the fucking computer's on, it's running properly. Let's open up all 10,000 fucking programs again. First, let's open up Chrome. Second, let me turn on my light. Cause that's in real life. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the StarCraft shit anymore. Cartoon Network, let's lower that out. This shit, however, am I not connected to the interweb? We're gonna CPU limiter this shit. 5 RAM, I don't care about that. Computer's not gonna crash over overloading the fucking RAM. Let's on OBS. Normally, Give that 10 seconds. Hey! Don't do that. Don't do that, girl. Okay, let's restore. Make sure Tickfinity is working. Click to connect. Test Tickfinity real quick. Okay, it popped up properly. If I CPU to go down. I started up open broadcast software. Let's just go here for the time being. I could shoot trap. You're saying shit on TikTok. I'm just not going to hear it. Just not going to edit. God damn. Just give me a regular ass instrumental. Jeez. Oh, y'all can't even hear that. Yep. Deactivate. Activate. Okay, now it's coming out normal. What was before this? Oh. Anyway, let's go back to this fucking video, man.
A ton of information about what exactly has been going wrong with Overwatch over the years. And the one I think will annoy the most people is that Blizzard had a deal with Netflix to produce a Warcraft, Diablo, and Overwatch series, which was completely shut down because Activision Blizzard sued Netflix for poaching their CFO. Essentially, they stole one of their employees. This is probably one of Blizzard's biggest fumbles as a company in years.
True.
They've made a lot of fumbles. They had the opportunity to do so much with these 3 series, and all 3 of them have been highly requested by fans throughout the years, and they completely ruined it over this lawsuit. It's unlikely to me that Blizzard will ever get a chance to do something like this again, and with PvE being removed and Cinema being incredibly lacking lately, this is just terrible news for Overwatch.
Yeah, lacking as in them bitches don't exist.
Overwatch's story going forward. I mean, even the Juno cinematic recently was 5 minutes of one setting where Juno fixes her boots, and it was so incredibly underwhelming. I was really hoping
that ass?
Lack of cinematics, maybe Blizzard had something else in the works like an Overwatch series, but now we know that series was already tried and failed. Now, this book contains interviews from 350 different insiders at Blizzard, so follow to stay in the loop.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to stay in the loop. I'm definitely going to update on that. And when that book comes out, I will definitely be at minimum listening to the audiobook version. Because, bro, this man, I don't know what the fuck his beef with Blizzard is. Because, like, you got to have real hatred and anger towards a company in your heart to make a whole expose about this company of just a book saying everything these niggas ever did wrong in their whole entire career. I don't know, good video about a boy. Wait, how the fuck do you like?
Overwatch was going to have a Netflix series, but Activision...
Yeah, I got it saved in my damn settings. I'll go like it that way. Yeah, shout out that boy, Two-Legged Spider, for giving out a breakdown. That was a nice little breakdown. A nice little breakdown. Now, I mean, shit. I feel bad if I waited all that time for that little ass segment on the last video, but whatever. Wait, hold up. I got